I was picking my book up, not trying to be funny. I've written some notes that I suddenly realised was on the floor as I hit go. How you doing, everybody? Welcome. Episode 6 of Soul-Centered Millionaire TV. So this is all about strategy and source connection to have exponential, outrageous success as a female entrepreneur running an online business. That's what these episodes are about every week. And I've loved them. We're on number 6 already. It's going so quickly. And every week I try and bring you something different, whether it be a story to inspire you, whether it be something that I've learned, whether it be a hack. Today's a hack. It's a success hack. As you're logging in, thanks guys. Thanks for interacting immediately as you get in so I know who's here. Say hello. Let me know if you're live by giving me a hashtag live. But also if you're watching on replay, let me know that by giving me a hashtag replay, because it's really handy information for me to see who's managing to catch this live and who isn't. And if you're new, thank you, Kelly. Kelly's just noticed the new do. So I've had my hair dyed. I've gone back to this is as close as I get to my natural colour. I thought it's just, isn't it funny that when I was younger, I couldn't wait to dye my hair, and my mum used to say to me, you'll regret it once you start, you can't stop, and she was so right. And now all I want is my natural colour back. So I'm glad you like it, Kelly. Thank you so much. I had a pamper on the weekend. I had a pamper ready for my trip that's coming up. So I'm flying to London tomorrow. And then the next day flying from London to Miami, where we'll be driving to Cape Coral to Fox Studios, and I'll be interviewed on a show called Morning Blend. It's a morning show about why I believe that every woman has $1 million business inside of them, and how I help these women find it. Because that's basically what I'm about. I know that it's inside all of you. I know that sometimes you need a little bit of help finding it. But it's there, it exists in all of us, that potential. And there's never been a better time to unleash that potential in the 21st century. It's freaking best time to be alive. We're so blessed with all of these opportunities that are just in the palm of our hands. Social media, the internet. It's never been such an exciting time to be in business and be alive. So that's what I'm going to be sharing on Fox TV this week. I'm so excited and nervous at the same time. Totally out of my comfort zone, which means I know I need to do it. But then after, to celebrate and to give myself a reward for pushing that far out of my comfort zone and being on TV for the first time, which is something, even just 5 years ago I would have said I would never do as an introvert. And to reward myself, I'm going to Disney. So we're going to stay in Animal Kingdom. And we're going to be just being absolute children, running around Disney and meeting Mickey Mouse and all of that fun stuff. So, buzzing. And what I want to share with you tonight is something that I really, I know will help you. It's something that is lots of fun, but is going to help you in your business, even though it's not business related. And it's something that I really want your commitment in doing, because it's so easy, isn't it? It's so easy to not make time for things that seem unimportant in terms of productivity. Everybody, I would imagine on this call, who's a successful entrepreneur, you'll make time for the things that make you money, the income produced in day-to-day activities. But what not everybody's really good at is making time for the things that don't fall into that category, but have a massive effect on our ability to create success. And what I want to challenge you guys tonight, I just said this to my clients in my group mentorship program. We were on a group call tonight, and I set them this challenge that I'm going to share with you tonight, because I had a bit of a light bulb moment on the weekend, and it's definitely a success hack that anybody can do that will show you your weak areas in business. It will show you how your character traits, the way you approach things, could be hindering your ability to get success, and it will show you it in an instant. And that's what I want to share with you tonight. It's going to take me minutes to share it with you. So it's a quick live tonight. It's not a lengthy training. It's not going to take you long to get your hands on this information and go and do something about it, but I want you to commit to doing it. So anybody that's listening to this, whether it's right now on live or on replay afterwards, before even knowing what it is, I want you to commit with me tonight that what I ask you to do, knowing that it's for the greater good of you, and that it might not make sense immediately, I'm going to ask for your commitment to doing it, knowing that I'm putting my hand on my heart and telling you that if you do this and you commit to doing it, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn a lot about yourself and what might be holding you back in business right now, even though it's not business related. So can you commit in the chat box by saying, whatever it is, I commit to it right now. Whatever it is, I commit to it right now, because I'm absolutely ready to go to the next level. I'm ready to learn about myself, and I'm ready to take responsibility for my results, because taking responsibility means looking at us, and it means awesome. Edmonda, Jackie, amazing. Elizabeth, what an amazing name. Thanks for committing. So everybody else that's really committed to what I'm asking you to commit to is awesome. Caroline, high five. What I'm asking you to commit to is self-awareness, putting a magnifying glass on you, because how we do anything is how we do everything, and our results tell us where we are as individuals. When you look at your results in business, and I want you all to do this now for a moment, just a snapshot of wherever you are right now in business. How much money you've got coming in, how many clients you've got, what your lifestyle's like. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate yourself. If you're a 1, it means that you are really not happy, and if you're a 10, you're like, I'm freaking awesome right now, like everything I'm doing is working. If you're a 1, if you're not a 10, no matter where you are, I want you to own it with me for a moment, because you're an entrepreneur and the buck stops with you. And if one thing I can't bear is someone not taking responsibility, because I know, not because it irritates me, but because I know that success will always elude you until you take full responsibility for your own results, life, income, business. It will always elude you. You can point fingers at the government. You can point fingers at the country you live in, the weather. You can point fingers at your family that aren't supportive. You can point fingers at your mentor that's not telling you what you should know. Or you can point fingers at everybody until you're blue in the face, but you're missing the point. Your results are a reflection of you, because you're an entrepreneur. The book stops with you. They're a reflection of the decisions you make, your character, your attitude, your mindset, the way you show up. And until you take responsibility for those, nothing will change. And that means owning everything, warts and all, and zero blame being pointed in the direction of anybody or anything else. Then you'll start to see change. And then what I'm going to share with you now very quickly is how you can get a snapshot, a real quick look at what it is that needs to change in you for you to go to the next level. And it's going to come in a really unexpected way. I want you to go and do something within the next week or so that is outside of your comfort zone but not business related. Something that's a new hobby, something you've never done before or you're uncomfortable with doing, something that scares you and excites you a little bit. And I'm going to give you an example of what it could be and why. So about 4 or 5 weeks ago, I decided to go horse riding, and I'm not a professional horse rider by any stretch of the imagination. I haven't horse ridden for years. I think I was about 9 or 10. I never had lessons. I was never taught how to do anything when it comes to horses. Definitely wasn't taught to ride, but I loved it when I was little. I really, really enjoyed it. And I always said, one day when I'll go, when I've got more money, when I've got more time, played the one day game. And in the beginning of January, I thought, you know what, I'm doing it now. There is no excuse. I've got the time and all that stuff, so let's do it. Now, what really happened, what was really interesting, this was meant to be an opportunity to relax my mind, switch off. I've got a busy mind, haven't we all as entrepreneurs? I lead a busy life, I lead a great life, but sometimes it can be intense. So this was an idea to just go off on the country on horseback, and that was all it was meant to be. But what ended up happening was something totally different. I ended up learning so much about myself. James came with me, it's something we do together. And I ended up learning a lot about him too, and I want to share that with you and what I learned, so that you know what to look for when you go off and do these hobbies. Because what I found was fascinating, truly fascinating. When we arrived, just to give you an idea, obviously no lessons, nothing. This is Spain, this isn't the UK, and even my UK friends, horse riding couldn't be more different in Spain than it is in the UK. It's super chilled. It's health and safety is pretty much non-existent. You know, I don't think this guy even asked me my level of kind of skill on a horse. We just kind of turned up. Even like the helmets and stuff, they're like, do you want one or not? It's not like you have to have one, and it's mental really compared to the UK that's like health and safety crazy. Everything's really relaxed, and the horses aren't, they're not like broken down, tired, old horses that you can just kind of sit on the back and it will just do everything. You know, they've got spunk, they've got character, they're pretty wild, a bit of a handful, and I love that. I love that because they're horses, they're meant to be horses. But it means that, you know, this isn't the sort of riding, this isn't the sort of stables where you take children and just sit them on the back of the horses. You know, that wouldn't be safe. So when we arrived, James and I, very different approaches. The guy that owns the stables, Luke, said to me, who's the better one out of the two of you at riding? And James just pointed to me immediately. Okay, I haven't ridden since I was 9. I've had no lessons or anything. I wouldn't say I'm better, but what he was saying was she feels more confident about doing this. So he said, well, I'll give you the more difficult horse then, James, you can have the easier one. And I went, okay. And I jumped on the back of the horse. And we went riding. And there's the first thing that I learned about myself. This is a clear representation of me in everything I do, including business. I learn by doing. I learn by going, let me on the horse. Let's just get on with it. I learn by, I felt the fear, don't get me wrong. I felt my heart start to race, but it's just me all over to go, come on, the only way to get through this is to do it. James, however, was starting to go a little bit white and was like, oh, do we not need some sort of brief and health and safety and instructions on how to work this thing? Like, he was getting all in his head on it, and like, what happens if I pull the rein this way, and da-da-da, and I need someone to talk me through all of this. Like, he's more of a cautious personality type that needs to know everything before he does something. And it's evident in our results. I'm kind of gung-ho, let's get in. I have to make more mistakes. I fall on my face a few times, bounce back up, but I get quite far quite quickly because I just do. And for some people that seems like, whoa, you know, they've got to rein me in a little bit because I just want to just run before I can walk. James is more like, you know, let me get the facts. He'll progress slower, but he'll get things right. We're different. Horse riding, me on a horse and him on a horse showed us ourselves in business in many ways. We had a great ride that day. As we've gone back every week, Luke has put me on a more difficult horse every week. Like, now this horse, and up to this week where it was, now I want you to go on my horse, who's Romero, and he's known for, like, he reminds me of Freddie Mercury. I know that sounds crazy, but he's got this wavy mane and he kind of prances around like really proud and like, but he's also like, don't tell me what to do, I own you type of horse. You have to really show him who's boss. And as soon as Luke said to me, you're on Romero this week, I could tell James was like, he was scared. I was like, great, I see this as a new challenge, and he obviously believes in me. He thinks I can handle this horse, and that means I've progressed, it means I've come a long way. And I just couldn't wait to jump on and get going, although I could, you know, feel that feeling. James, however, has stuck to the same horse every week. And by the way, he's gave me permission to share this with you tonight. I'm not just rubbishing him at all. But it was something that really stood out to us that we chatted about last night on the way home. And I thought, I've got to share this because it's so revealing. On the way there yesterday, James had got a poorly wrist and it was hurting a little bit. So he was a little bit out of sorts. He'd had quite a tough week. I've had a great week and I was feeling great. And he said on the way, don't be careful today riding because obviously we're going away on Tuesday and, you know, we don't want to have any accidents before we go. And I was like, whoa, why would you say that? Don't say that. It's going to be an amazing trip, and then we're going to go on our amazing holiday, and Miami's going to be brilliant. And why would you put that out there? But I could sense that he'd lost his head a little bit. You know, he wasn't thinking in a way that's positive and aligned and optimistic and thinking about what he wants. He was thinking about what he doesn't want. And I picked up on that straight away with him, and I thought, oh, and this again is a representation of how James can sometimes be in business. We'll be in the office and I'll be going, today's going to be freaking brilliant. And he's like, yeah, but this has happened and this has happened. And he's the worrier out the two of us, and I'm the one that has to sometimes like be the cheerleader out the two. So again, direct representation of business. We arrive, I get on the back of Romero, off we go. James on the back of his normal horse that's bit, you know, the most docile, it's calm, but how funny is this? You know, I had a few moments with Romero where I had to kind of show him that I was in control and boss, and I had to calm down myself, because horses, I believe, pick up on your energy. So I had to like have a few, you know, and make sure that I was in control of the way I was feeling, because I know this horse is picking up on that. James, pretty much from the moment we left, he's having problems with his horse that he's ridden for 3 weeks and had no problem, but this week he's having problems. And I could hear him saying, for God's sake, I don't know what's the matter with this horse today. And it was all about the horse's problem. It was all the horse's fault today. And he's frightened of everything, and he's bloody erratic and anxious and da-da-da-da. And he's not listening to me, and it keeps galloping off. And I could hear all this going on behind me, and I'm smiling to myself because I'm thinking, wow, it's like the horse is a mirror to you right now. You're erratic and nervous and anxious, and you've not been listening to anything that Luke said to you or anything I said to you on the way here. Isn't that fascinating? We're out for 5 hours, 6 hours nearly yesterday. In fact, longer, I think. And the whole way, James is having problems, and he's getting more frustrated and more frustrated. And, you know, just to give you an idea, there was one point where we're going through a river, and then up from the river, and it goes onto a concrete hill. So obviously the horses were a little bit, you know, nervous in the river, and we were navigating some quite big boulders through the river, and then up onto the concrete hill where it got a little bit slippy. And every now and then they might lose their footing a little bit. So you've got to really take it slow and not let them go too quickly, and rein it in, and every now and then their foot might go, but then you stay calm and gain control and keep pulling them back. Whereas obviously James, with the state he was in, when the horse lost its footing, he was panicking, and then the horse is panicking more, and then it loses its footing more, and it ends up getting worse and worse and worse for him. To the point where there was one point where Luke, who takes us out, said to me, do you want to go galloping, Michelle? And I was like, I'd love to. So we went off. Me and this other lady, Debbie, we just kind of hit supercharge mode and went off with these horses. And then what happened is this horse, Romero, got really excited and just took off with me. And I left Debbie way behind, and it was not listening, and this horse would not stop. And I was pulling on the reins and pulling on the reins, and he wouldn't stop. And for a moment, I started to panic, because I thought, I'm in trouble now, because this horse is not listening, and no matter what I do, it's getting faster. And he decided, I think, I want to go home now. So there was a moment where in my head, this is all happening really quickly, and I think, you need to calm down. This is about you, not the horse. You need to calm down and really pull on that reins and show this horse who's boss, and that you've said, no, we're stopping. So I kind of regained my composure, yanked on the reins, gave him a little kick, and was like, no, kept pulling back, and he stopped, slowed down, and I managed to turn him around and go back to find the others. But what that taught me about me is that that's so true for me in business. Running before I can walk a little bit. I've been guilty of that in the past. I'm still guilty of it now. Like, I can think, oh, I can do that, and I'll just do it. And sometimes that's great and it works out, and it's not that I want to change it, but it's being aware that it has its downfalls, and that sometimes you can run into problems quicker and more intense than other people because you go so much faster. But also, that pulling on the reins is an analogy as well with other people. You know, the reason I wasn't pulling the reins hard enough and why I wasn't reining that horse in hard enough is because I didn't want to hurt him. That was the first thing. I really don't want to hurt you. I want to be kind, and I also don't want to piss you off, because if I pull too hard and piss you off, you might throw me off. So being too cautious sometimes of hurting people or pissing them off means that sometimes I'm not strong enough with people, therefore people can take the pee out of me. And again, totally representative in my business. And I'm being really honest with you about my own flaws here because I think it's important. And what James learned about himself was his energy's powerful, and when he's on a downward spiral, everybody around him, including the horse, everything, knows about it. He spirals out of control. He affects his whole day. He becomes negative. He finds it hard to get his head back. He loses it completely, and he stops listening. And again, true in business, you know, if he's having a bad day and we're in the office, I have to kick him out. I'm like, get out of my space because you are out of control. It's like living with the Tasmanian devil. He's like positive most of the time, but then he goes from like positive to and is intensely positive. He can be as an intensely low, and that affects his ability to succeed sometimes because he can lose a whole day lost in this rage whereas, you know, he could just choose something better. And it's true for business. So here's the thing, when we take that hobby, because how you do anything is how you do everything, it showed us ourselves in an environment that is very different to business. It shows you who you are. It means you can step back and review what you need to work on as a character, as a person, as an individual. And this is my challenge to you, to do something that frightens you a little bit. It might not be horse riding. If I'm saying horse riding, you're like, oh, I'm scared of it. Go horse riding, do it. Notice where you hold back. Notice where you say stay stuck in fear. James said to me on the way back, I'm not going to lie, it's put me off today, that's what he said. And he was still in a mud. He's fine now. But I was like, is that who you are? Is that who you are? Someone that doesn't get back on the horse? Are you someone that faces a challenge, gets scared and stops? Like, hell no, that is not who you are. You will get back on that horse. I was like his coach, I'm meant to be his wife, but you know, it spills over. I was like, no, that is not who you are. We will go back, you will get back on that horse. And actually, you'll get on a more difficult horse next time, and you'll face all these different challenges, and you will get stronger and better because of them, because that's how you become someone that rides well. You know, you might fall off, you may fall off, but you're going to get back on. Like, we've all heard that saying, haven't we? Get back in the saddle, get back on the horse. Like, it is a real true representation for what was going on for him in his head. And this is what happens in business, isn't it? Challenge, confrontation, something doesn't go our way. We've got to do something that frightens us. And we back off. If we back off on the horse, we're going to back off in business too, because it's who you are. And having that discipline in every area of your life, developing those habits in every area of your life is necessary. But doing things and then looking at ourselves outside of our comfort zone, not in a business capacity, teaches us so much about ourselves. So it might be skydiving, it might be horse riding, whatever it is that frightens you but excites you, and you're like, I would want to conquer that, but you know, it scares me a bit. Do it. Just do it. And feedback. I want to see your pictures. I want you to tag me in your pictures saying, I went horse riding, I freaking shit myself, but I got on the horse anyway, and there was this one moment where the horse got a little bit and I dealt with it, and this is what I learned about myself. Like, it might be you're a bit like me and you go and you jump on the horse and you're overzealous and you end up being taken off somewhere, you know, but you learn, okay, well, how do I show up like that in business? How can I work on that to be better? And that's my challenge for you all. So type in the chat box and let me know what's come to your mind straight away that you would like to do, that you know would reveal things about your character to you. Type the activity below. Is it horse riding? Is it something else? What can you do and what do you commit to doing? I want you to pledge with pride, publicly hold yourself accountable. Breccie, wall climbing, awesome one. Yeah, that would be really revealing, wouldn't it? Really revealing. Abseiling's another great one. I abseiled a few years ago and it was very revealing. How I did it was quite funny, because I just went, right, yeah, okay, so you've got to lean back and go for it. It's mind over matter, isn't it? And just went, and then ended up going a little bit too fast. Same as the horse riding. Ended up going a bit too fast, got halfway down the wall and hit a little bit of difficulty. Bungee jumping, Edmondo, yes, are you going to be someone that stands on the edge for ages and keeps walking back going, oh, fucking hell, I can't do it? Or are you just going to jump off? Take dancing professionally, Zumba, boring, Kelly, do it. Take pictures, Mirav, commit, amazing. Gonna shit myself while up there. Brilliant. Do you know what? Every time you do though, it's character building. I'm gonna be, not yet, so don't ask for details yet because I don't have any for you, but I am gonna be running new retreats when my house is renovated and it's ready, and I'm gonna be holding retreats there. I'm not gonna say much more, but like moving with your mentor retreats so people can live with me and know what it looks like to build the sort of business I've built and work alongside me and, you know, eat with me and play with me. And a part of that is going to be going out to do some sort of activity that really shows you who you are, because it's important. I really believe that. Mountain biking, okay, do it, yes. Some of these are so exciting. I can't wait to see all of your pictures, and I can't wait to hear what you've learned from it. Tag me in it. I want to see it, and inbox me and tell me, you know, this is what I did and this is what I learned about myself, because it's fascinating stuff and it will really help you grow. Thank you for logging in tonight. I love you all. Wish me luck on Fox TV. I'll take loads and loads of pictures, and I'll post a link as well so you can watch the interview.